Keanu Reeves is not only a famous movie star known for his impressive roles, but he is also a symbol of resilience and kindness in life. While he maintains a calm and quiet demeanor in public, few know that behind the spotlight is a heart that has endured deep sorrow. From losing his close friend River Phoenix to personal tragedies and life's challenges, Keanu has faced many hard-hitting shocks. However, he has always remained strong and continued to spread love and kindness to those around him. Share this story so others can better understand what Keanu has been through, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. This was not easy. His father had his own struggles, becoming involved in drugs and being arrested for selling heroin at an airport in Hawaii. Keanu saw his father for the last time when he was 13 years old, and that was their final meeting. After that, his father disappeared from his life. His mother worked hard to support the family. Her job in the entertainment industry brought creativity into Keanu's life, but it also meant constant change. She remarried several times, with each new marriage meaning a new home in a new city. They moved to Sydney, then New York, and finally Toronto. Keanu had to adapt to new schools, new people, and a new way of life every time they moved. Toronto became the place closest to home, but even there, life was unstable. His mother's second husband was a stage and film director, but their marriage lasted only a year. She married again, this time to a rock promoter, but this marriage also didn't last. Later, she remarried a barber. Keanu witnessed it all, watching his mother struggle to build a stable life, but nothing lasted long. Another challenge Keanu faced was attending 4 different high schools in just 5 years. Dyslexia made it difficult for him to keep up with reading, and he struggled with the structure of traditional schooling, eventually being expelled. However, he had other interests that mattered more. Hockey became a comfort for him. Keanu Reeves grew up in Toronto, where hockey was not just a sport, but a part of life. From a young age, he showed real talent on the ice. He was so good that he considered trying out for the Windsor Spitfires in the Ontario Hockey League, a big step towards a professional career. However, things didn't go as planned. A serious injury ended his hockey dream and forced him to find a new path. Losing hockey was a great pain, but it led him to something unexpected: acting. His childhood had prepared him for change. After his parents divorced, his family moved frequently. His mother worked as a costume designer, taking jobs in different places, so Keanu had to constantly adapt to new schools and living environments. This constant change may have helped him build the resilience he would later need in Hollywood. At the age of 17, Keanu made a bold decision. He dropped out of school to focus on acting. Leaving hockey wasn't easy, but in the end, it turned out to be the best decision of his life. Although his hockey career ended, he still carried the lessons from the sport with him. Discipline, teamwork, the ability to overcome challenges, these are all qualities he brought into his acting career. He never lost his love for the game. To this day, he still plays hockey for fun whenever the opportunity arises. His first real step into acting came in 1984 with a small role in the Canadian TV series Hanging In. It was a comedy aired on CBC, and while it wasn't a breakout moment, it marked the beginning of his career. Around the same time, he also landed a Coca-Cola commercial, one of his first experiences on screen. This job wasn't glamorous, but it helped him gain confidence. That same year, he worked as a reporter for Going Great, a youth-focused show on CBC. The role required him to interview people, present stories, and connect with a young audience. It was a different kind of acting, but it helped him develop valuable skills. Stage acting also played a crucial role in shaping him. In 1985, he took on the role of Mario in the play Romeo and Juliet at the Leah Poussin Theater in North York. Classic theater was a challenge, but it deepened his understanding of acting. Between television roles, commercials, and stage performances, he was building a solid foundation for his career. During this time, he even considered changing his name. He worried that the name Keanu Reeves was too unusual and might make it harder for him to land roles. However, in the end, he decided to keep his name. This decision reflected something important. He didn't want to change himself just to fit in. His career took a major turn in 1986 when he landed a role in the dark crime film River's Edge, which premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival. The story follows a group of teenagers grappling with the aftermath of a murder. Reeves played Matt, a conflicted friend of the murderer. Although he wasn't the lead character, his performance stood out. It showcased depth and nuance, proving that he could handle more serious, weighty roles. 2 years later, he landed his first leading role in Permanent Record. The film tackles heavy topics such as teen suicide and the pain of loss. Reeves played Chris Townend, a young man struggling with the sudden loss of his best friend. It was an emotionally charged role, and he portrayed it with sincerity and vulnerability. His performance left a strong impression, and critics recognized that he wasn't just a young actor playing troubled guys, but someone with true talent. These two films helped him step into Hollywood, but the role that truly changed everything came in 1989 with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, which made him a household name. The sci-fi comedy follows two high school students, Bill S. Preston, Esquire, played by Alex Winter, and Ted Theodore Logan, played by Reeves, as they travel through time and meet historical figures to pass their history exam. Reeves was one of the first actors to audition for the role of Ted, and the chemistry with Winter was incredibly natural. They bonded over their shared love of bass guitar and motorcycles, and that connection brought their characters to life. No one expected the movie to be a huge success, but audiences loved it. Produced with a budget of $10 million, the film grossed $40 million at the box office and became a cult classic. Reeves's portrayal of Ted, with his laid-back attitude and iconic phrases like "whoa" and "excellent," became an instant symbol. He became a star. The success of Bill and Ted led to a sequel, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, in 1991. The franchise also spawned an animated series, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures, which aired from 1990 to 1991. However, with success came a challenge. Many started to view him solely as the goofy, clueless Ted. Some critics questioned whether he could take on more serious roles. This stereotype followed him for years, but Reeves was never the type to let others define him. He was just getting started, and bigger roles were waiting for him ahead. When Point Break was released on July 12, 1991, Reeves was still best known for his role as Ted in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. However, this film showed a completely different side of him. He played Johnny Utah, an FBI agent who goes undercover to catch a bank-robbing gang. These criminals were not your typical criminals, but a group of surfers led by Patrick Swayze, a man with strong charisma. Johnny was supposed to arrest them, but he becomes captivated by their lifestyle. This tension made the film not just an action-packed thriller, but also one with heart. The chemistry between Reeves and Swayze was outstanding, and the action scenes kept the audience on the edge of their seats. Point Break grossed over $83 million worldwide, proving that Reeves could lead an action film. 3 years later, Speed took his career to new heights. Released on June 10, 1994, the film follows Jack Traven, a cop who must prevent a bomb from exploding on a bus. If the speed drops below 50 mph, the bus will explode. The simple yet tense plot saw Reeves portray Jack with calm determination, making him a believable hero. The chemistry between him and Sandra Bullock, who played a passenger forced to drive the bus, added warmth to the non-stop action film. The film became one of the biggest hits of the year, grossing over $350 million. Reeves had now become a valuable action star, and with the success of Speed, a sequel seemed inevitable. However, Reeves surprised everyone by turning down Speed 2, Cruise Control, even though it would have been an easy payday. Instead, he wanted to take risks and explore different roles. This decision showed that he wasn't just looking for fame, but also aiming to grow as an actor. That determination to take risks led him to My Own Private Idaho in 1991, directed by Gus Van Sant. This film was completely different from the action roles that would later define his career. The story follows two young street hustlers, played by Reeves and River Phoenix, as they travel across the country in search of meaning. Reeves played Scott Favor, a wealthy young man who abandons his luxurious life. The film is raw and poignant, exploring themes of love, identity, and self-discovery. Critics praised Reeves for the depth and authenticity of his performance. He was not just an action star, but also capable of taking on complex and dramatic roles. However, not all decisions led to success. In the mid-90s, Reeves faced several setbacks in his career. Johnny Mnemonic, released in 1995, was expected to be a hit, based on a story by William Gibson with a cyberpunk setting that seemed ahead of its time. However, the film failed to connect with audiences, grossing only $17 million worldwide, far below expectations. Another failure came with Chain Reaction in 1996, which also struggled at the box office. These films led people to question whether Reeves could carry a movie outside of his successful action roles. Then The Matrix was released in 1999. This film not only saved Reeves's career, but also revolutionized cinema. Directed by the Wachowski siblings, The Matrix introduced audiences to a world where reality is merely an illusion controlled by machines. Reeves played Neo, a hacker who uncovers the truth and becomes humanity's last hope. The film's special effects, including the famous bullet time scenes, were groundbreaking, but it wasn't just the visuals. Its story also raised profound questions about reality, destiny, and free will. Reeves didn't just act in The Matrix, he fully committed to the role. He trained in martial arts for months, learning wushu and kung fu to perform his own stunts. This dedication made the action scenes feel authentic. The film was a huge success, grossing over $463 million worldwide. Neo became one of the most recognizable characters in film history. The success of The Matrix led to two sequels in 2003, The Matrix Reloaded and The Matrix Revolutions. Reeves was now not just an action star, but a global icon. The film's influence reached beyond Hollywood, with its themes and imagery appearing in music, fashion, and even philosophical discussions. Reeves's portrayal of Neo turned him into the face of the franchise and one of the most beloved actors of his generation. Many years later, in 2021, Reeves returned with The Matrix Resurrections. By this time, he had established a reputation not just as an actor, but also as a beloved figure known for his kindness, humility, and dedication to his craft. If Keanu's story has touched your heart, don't forget to share this video so others can feel it too. Leave a like if you admire his strength, and make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more interesting and inspiring stories. Keanu Reeves was at a low point in his career before John Wick was released in 2014. He was well known, but his career was slowing down, with several recent films not succeeding, and Hollywood wasn't offering him as many opportunities as before. It felt like the time when he was a top star had faded. But then, one movie changed everything: John Wick. This wasn't just an action film, but a story about loss, revenge, and a man who has lost everything. Reeves plays a retired hitman who goes on a brutal rampage after criminals steal his car and kill his dog, the last gift from his late wife. The plot is simple, yet there is something different about it. The intense action and the world the film creates is something that had never been seen before. Bringing the film to the screen was no easy task. Directors Chad Stahelski and David Leitch had never directed a film before, and the studios didn't believe that Reeves could still carry an action film. However, Lionsgate decided to take a risk and acquired the production rights just 2 months before the release. Marketing played a crucial role in turning the movie into an event. The trailers made it clear that this was not just an ordinary action film, but one with style, precision, and Keanu Reeves in a role that was perfect for him. The film premiered in New York on October 13, 2014, and Reeves appeared on the red carpet with Andy, the dog that played his pet in the film. 1 week later, John Wick officially hit theaters nationwide. No one expected the film's success. Experts predicted it would only earn around $7 to $10 million in its opening weekend, but it ended up grossing $14.4 million. Of that total, IMAX screenings alone contributed $2.5 million. While it wasn't a record-breaking figure, for an R-rated action movie with a modest budget, this was a major victory. Critics loved the film, praising the clean action sequences, the world building, and Reeves's performance. However, it wasn't just critics. Audiences also connected with the film in a way no one had anticipated. The underground world of assassins, with its secret codes and rules, made the film stand out from everything else on screen, and Reeves brought a strong sense of gravitas to John Wick, making the character unforgettable. The success of the film gave Reeves a second chance in Hollywood, but it wasn't just about the movie itself. What mattered was the work he put in behind the scenes. He trained for months before filming, mastering martial arts, weaponry, and stunt driving. His fight scenes looked real because he actually performed them himself. By the time he started filming John Wick Chapter 4, his training had reached new heights. He spent 12 weeks preparing, learning advanced shooting techniques, and driving maneuvers like 180-degree turns and high-speed drifting. He performed over 90% of his own stunts in all 4 films. This dedication is the main reason why this film series stands out from other action movies. Halle Berry, who joined the franchise in John Wick Chapter 3, also trained incredibly hard. She fractured 3 ribs while preparing for her role, but refused to give up. Her fight scenes became some of the most impressive in the franchise, proving that the actors are not just pretending to be action stars, but are genuinely doing it themselves. The first John Wick film earned $86 million worldwide on a budget of around $20 to $30 million. The sequel more than doubled that number, grossing $171 million. Then came John Wick Chapter 3, which exploded with $326 million. But the biggest surprise came with John Wick Chapter 4, which surpassed $440 million, becoming one of the highest-grossing action franchises of all time. Keanu Reeves has spent decades conditioning his body, from The Matrix to John Wick, continuously training, performing his own stunts, and embracing the collisions to bring his characters to life. However, at the age of 60, his body has started to respond.
In a recent interview, he admitted something fans might not expect. "My heart still wants to do John Wick, but my knees might not allow me to do it," he shared. "You can't predict anything. Right now, my knees are telling me I can't do another John Wick film, but my heart wants to." After years of performing intense fight scenes and brutal action stunts, even someone as dedicated as Reeves has his limits. This raises many big questions about the future of John Wick 5. The franchise has redefined the action genre with impressive martial arts scenes and non-stop energy. But if Reeves can no longer endure the physical toll like before, what happens next? Will the franchise slow down, or would it still make sense without him? Reeves has not ruled out any possibilities, but his hesitation is clear. Although the fifth movie is still uncertain, Reeves isn't leaving the John Wick universe just yet. He filmed a cameo in Ballerina, a spin-off movie starring Ana de Armas. The film is set to be released in 2025, keeping Reeves connected to the world he helped create. While it may not be the full John Wick experience fans are used to, it's still something. Keanu Reeves has experienced more loss than most people can imagine. Behind his calm exterior is a man who has faced tremendous pain, with one of the worst moments of his life being in 1993, when he lost his close friend River Phoenix to a drug overdose. The two had become close while filming My Own Private Idaho in 1991. The film not only showcased their acting talents, but also created a deep friendship. River was only 23 years old when he passed away. That night, River was at the Viper Room, a club in West Hollywood where he was supposed to perform with the band P, which included Flea and John Frusciante from Red Hot Chili Peppers. It was meant to be a night of music and fun, but River had fallen into a dangerous addiction, mixing heroin and cocaine, and hadn't slept for several days. As the night went on, his condition worsened, and feeling sick, he stepped outside the club, collapsing on the sidewalk. His body began to convulse, and River's brother, Joaquin, called for an ambulance. But by the time the paramedics arrived, it was too late. River was taken to Cedars-Sinai Hospital, but nothing could be done to save him, and he passed away at 1:51 a.m. on October 31st, 1993. Keanu was devastated. Losing River changed him forever. It wasn't just the loss of a friend, but the loss of someone he considered family. He rarely speaks about it, but when he does, his words carry a deep sadness. 5 years later, Keanu met Jennifer Syme, who was an assistant to director David Lynch, and the two quickly fell in love. In 1999, they found out they were expecting a child. It should have been a joyous moment, but instead, it became another heartbreaking chapter in Keanu's life. Around Christmas that year, their daughter, Ava Archer Sim Reeves, was stillborn. This loss shattered them, and the immense pain caused their relationship to begin falling apart. Eventually, they parted ways, but they never stopped caring for each other. Then, tragedy struck again on April 2nd, 2001. Jennifer was driving in Los Angeles when she crashed into a row of parked cars on Kanga Boulevard. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and the collision threw her out of the car, causing her to die instantly. She was only 28 years old. That night, she had attended a party at Marilyn Manson's house. She left in the early morning, but she never made it home. Police later discovered prescription drugs in her car. This loss was unbearable. Keanu had lost so much, and now he had to say goodbye to someone he had once dreamed of building a family with. At her funeral, he stood as a pallbearer, his face heavy with sorrow. Director David Lynch and musician Dave Navarro were also present, sharing in the song Tomorrow. Lynch dedicated the film Mulholland Drive to Jennifer as a way to honor her. If Keanu learned anything from all the pain, it was the importance of holding on to the ones he loves. This became even more apparent when his sister, Kim Reeves, was diagnosed with leukemia in 1991. She fought the illness for nearly a decade, and throughout that time, Keanu never left her side. He paused his career to care for her, moved in with her, helped her through treatment, and made sure she had everything she needed. Over the years, he has run his own charitable fund, supporting cancer research and children's hospitals. He rarely speaks about it, but the reason behind it is deeply personal. His sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia in 1991 and fought the illness for nearly a decade before her condition went into remission in 2001. Witnessing her struggle through so much pain changed him. It inspired him to want to help others facing similar battles. In 2009, he briefly spoke about his charity fund in an interview. "I have my own charity fund that's been running for about 5 or 6 years, and it supports a few children's hospitals and cancer research. I don't like to put my name on it. I just let the fund do what it needs to do." This says it all about him. He doesn't do it for recognition. He does it because it truly matters. His generosity doesn't stop there. In 2008, he participated in the Stand Up to Cancer program, answering phones to help raise funds for cancer research. He has also been involved in various other fundraising efforts over the years without making a fuss about it. His actions speak for themselves. But it's not just the big contributions that define him, it's the small, quiet moments of kindness that show who he truly is. In 1997, a paparazzi camera captured him sitting on the sidewalk in West Hollywood, sharing food with a homeless person. But he didn't just give food. He sat beside them, listened, laughed, and had an actual conversation. He didn't do it for the cameras, not to show off. That's just how he lives. Then there was the time he helped a woman whose car had broken down on the side of the road. He stopped and tried to jumpstart the car, but when that didn't work, he called a tow truck. That would have been enough, but he didn't stop there. He offered to drive her home, going nearly 50 miles out of his way. They talked the entire drive, and before parting ways, he gave her his phone number in case she ever needed further help. Even in the busy city, he maintains his humility. He's been spotted multiple times taking the subway, not as a star, but as just another regular passenger. He would give up his seat for elderly passengers and pregnant women without hesitation. He doesn't see himself as different from anyone else. It's that humility that makes him stand out. His generosity extends to those he works with as well. During the sequels to The Matrix, he made a decision that shocked Hollywood. He gave up a significant portion of his earnings, around $75 million, so that the special effects and costume teams could be paid more. He knew that they were the ones who made the film, and he wanted them to be properly rewarded for their hard work. And that wasn't the only time. After The Matrix became a massive hit, he gave nearly $1 million of his salary to pay each member of the special effects team. These are the people who often never see bonuses, no matter how successful the film becomes. Reeves made sure they were compensated. Keanu Reeves' life is a living testament to the power of resilience, humility, and unconditional love. Despite facing numerous painful losses, he continues to inspire millions around the world through his acts of kindness and compassion. We can learn so much from the way he lives, not just from his successes, but from the lessons of patience, empathy, and the ability to overcome adversity. Let Keanu's story be the motivation for us to always strive to be the best version of ourselves, bringing positive change to the world around us.